What's up? It's me. The fiction project continues. Hope all's well. Sitting here at a coffee shop on a Saturday. Life is good. Life is beautiful. I'm going to share a story today that I wrote early pandemic, so maybe about a year ago. And it's about one of my friend Roland. I decided to write about everyone I knew that dies during this past year. So there's more of these stories to come. And it's not a super sad story. It's not a super inappropriate story. It's maybe like a PG-13. If I say certain words, I think YouTube will like flag this, but I'll just not say those. But he's an interesting dude. I hope you enjoy. Time to share my screen. Let's get cracking, yo. Make this a little bit bigger. Scoot it over here. Don't need this. Who knows? All right, get out of here. You ready? One take. My friend Roland. To develop a complete mind, study the science of art, study the art of science, learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. Da Vinci. Intro slash disclaimer. This is my first story I've written about a friend who died during and perhaps due to coronavirus. There's a lot going on in this country right now. It's hard to focus on the real or the positive. Please excuse my inability to honor my friend through words. Thank you. TLDR, stupid thing. It's too long, don't read, basically. Attentionless people. To my friend Roland was a brilliant, hilarious man. He was a scientist, artist, and plant collector. He is dead. I'm telling you right off the bat what happens. Look, there's younger me. This is great. That's my man Roland right here. See his garden? Tons of cacti. Really cool. Roland left, watches this guy. Self timer for a picture. That was 2013. Last time I saw him. Good dude. Dogs. Life. All right, scene one. 2012, San Diego, California. North Park, specifically Saturday, coffee shop. So a teacher. I too am a teacher. That's what he told me. I'm sitting in a coffee shop in San Diego, writing and casually looking out the window. Chigger. As I return from the bathroom, the man 2 seats down asked me, "What do you do?" I hadn't noticed him before the question. He's reading and writing and also facing the open window. Bald, strong, smiling ear to ear, wearing a ring on his pinky finger. He's probably 50, 55. I'm around 28. To be polite, I ask him, "What do you teach?" "I teach biology, University of San Diego," he said, pulling out his business card and handing it over. I quickly scan the cardboard to verify the role we play in public. Business cards. Identity confirmed. Do I hand him mine? I decide against this. No need. Bald-headed man with a vaguely European accent then says, "I am also an artist." Cool. Now, at this moment, dear friend, or dear reader, I faced a crossroad, and you face the same crossroad frequently. Two roads diverge. One, do I continue the conversation? Two, do I disengage? Say, all right, return to my own universe. Option one means to respond with inquiry. Option two, just give one of the planned excuses I have ready to go for these moments. We face these crossroads frequently, friend or foe, flight or fight, biology, art. I wonder if it was related to neuroscience, because I deeply admire the scientists who study the mind. They study flickers of electricity in the brain, like measuring lightning across clouds in an effort to put a name to that which makes it breathe. Interesting field, very smart people. Biology is super wide, who knows? I also love art. In fact, after I finished writing, my plan was to go visit my favorite work of art in Balboa Park. Saturday is a day of explanation, so I think, bleep it. Explore, ask. What kind of artist? Can I show you? He says, motioning to his computer. Another crossroad. Option one, I'm about to get going. Option two, sure. Had I chosen the first, this would be a much shorter story. Another sugar. Perhaps titled Bald-headed man asks question in a coffee shop. Another man says no, and then leaves. Reading that story would probably be a waste of your time. Can you guess which I responded? So he proceeds to show me his website. It contains some of the art he creates after his job at the university. Art is excellent. Style is unique. I like it. Thin pencil lines on white canvas, human form, mostly men, some female. We talk for maybe 30 minutes. He speaks quietly with passion, bubbling with the kind of Popeye energy the entire time. The end of conversation number one, I remember thinking just a few things. One, dude's definitely smart. super smart. 2, probably gay. 3, I bet this guy is a very good lecturer. Very good. Because he was just like, what a pleasant surprise to have such a random conversation. I put his card in my pocket, say, hey, nice to meet you. Shake hands, I leave, go see art, go see ocean. Don't think much about it. End of scene 1. So scene 2, San Diego, same coffee shop 1 week later. It's kind of my routine on Saturdays. I still have no idea what happened to his card. I'm in the same coffee shop. I'm skipping the footnotes. Maybe if you read it, you can check those out. I'm in the same coffee shop, back at the craft, tapping at the keyboard. I look out of the window and admire the sun. For some reason, I turn around to scan the shop, and I see him. So now I remember this man. Oh yeah, that's right, dude. The bald-headed artist. He smiles and waves. I return the gesture. He motions to an empty chair. He's like, come sit down. I point to my computer, hold up 5 fingers, and return. I'm like 5 minutes. When he just finished his thought, he nods, gives a thumbs up. Nonverbal communication successful. An hour and 15 minutes later, maybe an hour and a half later, I finish my thoughts. I look up. The coffee shop has changed. Now the shadows are in slightly different places. Most of the people are different. You can actually see people passing behind. There across the coffee shop, reading a book, sipping an espresso still with an open chair at his table is the bald-headed artist. I walk over. Oh, sorry about that, man. I zone out all the time, especially on weekends. Yeah, screw time. Anyway, there's no need to apologize. I also zone out frequently, in fact. There is no need to apologize for that. It is an important task of the mind. Most often I zone out when writing, when reading, when cooking, when in my garden, or when I am creating my art. The flow state, it is wonderful to be in, no? What are all these bugs on my computer, man? Get out of here. Sorry, little guy. It was an accident. Anyway, it is. I was just in it. What's your name, amigo? Roland. And what is yours? I'm kind of doing this accent. You'll see why. I give him my real name and I ask him, where are you from? Why do you ask? He smiles, politely checking my mood. I hadn't, because it's rude to ask where are you from to somebody with an accent, right? I hadn't asked him the first time. I thought we had arrived at the point where I could ask. Shoot, I even called him amigo, hoping I could explain my intentions politely. No, I mean, I asked because I can't place your accent. It sounds, I don't know, dude, no clue, 0. I've been around enough where I can usually place an accent. I was born in Spain. I was educated in England, in Israel. I went to many foreign schools, many books, this and that. I learned my English early, not so much in school, but by listening to records from America. The jazz singers, they taught me very much. That education shaped my accent. He also spoke really quick, like a mile a minute. Spain. One of my grandmothers was born in Spain. So we switched to Spanish for a few minutes to see if either one of us is BSing. Nope, identity verified. We then switch back to English. So anyway, science, this is me. Here's a question I've been wondering. How do you measure consciousness and how would you attempt to quantify it? Consciousness is one of like the 3 unsolvable riddles for science, is it not? It is, yes. My studies in biology are more focused on viruses, but I like to explore consciousness. It is one of my favorite topics. We talk longer this time. He invites me to come check out his garden. End of scene 2. Notice there's a couple scenes here together. Instead of describing each one, I just summarized. Roland's house, literally one of the coolest houses I've ever been in. Every inch was like a deliberate object, beautifully balanced, beautiful art, super cool bookshelf. His cooking was dope, incredible. I smile each time I remember the exact passionate explanation how he described a dish, whatever, hands talking rapidly, cook amazing food, and then we would eat this amazing food. And then we'd chill in the garden, man. One of the coolest gardens. He had over 300 cactuses, true, cacti. And he had the little paths for different meditative walks, conversations, man, hilarious. Just a hilarious dude to talk to, brilliant, smart, and all over the place. So I couldn't handle all the details of his sexual escapades, but we would trade stories, eat, sit out, discuss God and art and science on lawn chairs while looking out across the garden at the lights sprinkled over the city. Scene 12. Roland's house. I pull up in a car. I'm moving away from San Diego. It's 2013. I pull up to Roland's house, buzzing from too much coffee. I had a gift for Roland. It was something I had preciously guarded for years, perhaps my most prized possession at the time. To quote, Red Hot Chili Peppers, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Kind of like listening to that song pulling up. I think it's a sound practice because giving away things prepares you to one day give back the best gift and go home to the Creator with peace and dignity. Digression over. It's funny seeing his house in the day. Normally I see it at night and the colors are vibrant. Maybe that's the coffee. I don't know. I'm high on life. I ring the doorbell. Roland opens the door with his Popeye grin. Dude, I was always smiling. My friend, he says with open arms. We hug. Strong man hug. He was strong. He was like a freaking bear. He hugged the same way he lived life with a warm and strong intensity. I gave him the present. He cries. I cried too, actually. Worth mentioning only because I'm on way too much coffee, and it's also hard to cry in that state. And also, probably more importantly, I rarely cried at that age. I didn't cry for most of my 20s. Maybe once a year, maybe like a year or two would go by without me crying. So anyway, we talk maybe an hour or so about the things we love talking about. It's hard to say goodbye. It's always hard to say goodbye to a friend. I prefer the Spanish adios to the English goodbye. Adios means to God. See, the spiritual is always present. I didn't know that I would only see him one more time right before a New Year's party. I didn't know what Roland had. We'll get to that, or what he will get later. The music said there's a teenage girl with a baby inside getting high on inspiration. I didn't know the same thing was happening to a woman in Colombia. I didn't know the baby wouldn't make it. There's a lot of things I don't know. I pray for all these people. I ask their forgiveness, and I do not know that I did not know how to love them the right way when I was with them. Something one of my friends told me. I lived differently because you all showed me a better life, an example of how to live. You too, Roland. We will see each other on the other side, and I'm going to hug you with the hug of love. Todos. Digression over. So I think I'll finish this next time. Why? My battery is super low. It's going to die. And two, it's pretty intense. So I want to like get in the right emotional state before I finish it off. Anyway, let me know what you think and have a beautiful rest of your day. Give stuff away. Go talk to people that you love and that you know, because someday we're gone. All right. Ándale pues. Ciao.